Hello and welcome back to Everybody Loves Raiken, our 5th edition live play podcast that meets every Tuesday. Last time, the party was taking on the second combat encounter that their stealth rolls had landed them with during their day of traveling through the dark and twisting tunnels of the Underdark. Unfortunately, they did not manage to get to the City of Onyx unnoticed, and in this second of their encounters, in the latter half of the day, they took on another Priestess of Lolth and her patrol of Driders and soldiers, Drow soldiers. I would say the most interesting thing that happened in this fight was that right as Jebel showed his tactical prowess in pulling a Drider into the pit, he got bashed into the very same pit by the other Drider. Although it was a very interesting scene, so that was fun. At the end of the fight, one of the Drow soldiers has surrendered, feeling quite disillusioned and talkative. So we'll pick up the scene as the party is recollecting themselves after the fight, and Laramendas and Vendar are the first to speak with the Drow as he tenders his surrender. I hit spacebar while still selecting the streaming program, and I don't know what that does. I'm always worried when I hit a button meant for a different program and I have the stream selected. It's like, okay, what does that button do in the stream?
Still looks fine to me.
Yeah, looks okay here too. Like, you think spacebar in a lot of programs is start-stop, so like, it's like, okay, did I just end the stream? Did I do that? Happening. Okay. So, Jebel, you had become a sparrow, I believe, or a finch? Finch. You had become a finch and begun flying up and out of the pit. That will take you several seconds. Cyrus, you had gone after him and just barely not managed to grab him before he wild-shaped. But you had discovered something else interesting, so why don't you tell me if you're doing anything else in the hole, or if you're simply going up.
I'm gonna check my inventory real quick, see if there's anything I wanna toss through it.
What about a coin?
I suppose I could do that. Oh, hey, look at that. I have a copper piece on me. I toss a copper piece through.
Okay, you drop the copper piece, and as it falls past this line, this almost like a demarking line in this vertical shaft, this almost like a crack is running all the way around the circumference of it, and is just filled with this rust red and has veins of it spidering up toward you. Right as the coin passes that, you see it immediately seems to become hazy, as though it's falling into a mist, and it just becomes harder and harder to see until all you're catching is glints and flashes off of its surface as it continues to fall away from you.
The only other thing I might want to try is if I had like a stick, I'd want to put it like part way through and see if the field tries to pull it through more, or if it just stays.
I don't believe you're carrying a stick with you, except for your sword.
Yeah, the closest thing I'd have is my sword. That's what I said, if I had a stick. So, I think that's it for... Okay. Oh, actually, I'm gonna pull out the, what was it? The, 0-point energy manipulator.
Sure. I'm interested to see where this goes.
I'm gonna try and use it to move something through the field and see if I can pull it back if there's any resistance.
Got another coin, perhaps?
Sure. I can toss another copper.
Okay. You pull out this boxy device that on one end has a handle, and as you know from the muskets from before, a trigger assembly on it. The whole thing is constructed of this coppery brass metal and etched with arcane runes, and you can see in various points along its, 6 surfaces, among the runes are set these gemstones that seem to be glowing softly. And on the other end, it seems to have like these kind of claws that point in the direction, almost like a hand reaching out to grip something. And so you flip the coin, and as it falls back towards you, you point the claw at it and pull the trigger, and the gems begin to glow more brightly, and your hand almost kind of, you feel the device kind of jump in your hand, pushing back towards you, as you hear this rattling, this crack, this and you see, just barely, this ghostly force, almost like a tentacle of force, extruding from the end of the device where the claw is and gripping the coin. You also find that there are, you read Draconic, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you understand from the runic symbols on the surface that if you pass your hand over certain gems on it, you can adjust the positioning of this coin to wherever you want it to be in relation to you. So you point yourself down and push the coin through the border, we'll call it.
Alright.
You do so. Again, you see the coin enwrapped in force begin to become hazy. And then, as it goes 5 feet, 10 feet.
Yeah, 5-10 feet, something like that.
Okay. You're adjusting its distance by touching these gems, and around where you believe it should be at 10 feet beyond the border, suddenly the tentacle snakes back to you, and no longer holds the coin.
Alright. Last experiment. I do have a stick. It's called a crossbow bolt.
Okay.
So I want to take a crossbow bolt out and see if I can stick it like halfway through and see if there's any resistance.
Okay. You drift down to this line, and you hold the bolt against the wall and drop the tip of it past the line to about the halfway point. You don't notice anything.
And then I want to pull it back out and see if it had any effect on the arrow, like the arrow but crossbow bolt.
You pull it back, you don't see anything, any change. Notice any markings, you don't feel any warmth. It seems unaffected.
Alright, then with that, I'll head back up to the top.
Okay. You and Jebel will reach the top as, with your dragon wings, what is your move speed?
Since I would still have hasted on, it would be 50 at base, and I'd be able to dash twice in a turn.
So 150?
No, 150 or, yeah, 150.
You rapidly overtake the Finch. And, you get to the top. Followed shortly thereafter by the Finch. At the top, Vendar and Laramendis are, not necessarily out of sight. Well, I guess from that square they'd be out of sight, but you can hear their voices as they're speaking to someone. Leah, you had gone to investigate the body.
Yeah.
What are you going to do once you have verified that it is in fact a corpse?
Vlog. I'm gonna see what's going on over at Laramendis location.
Okay.
I just can walk there myself, right?
Jebel, am I... Yeah, you can walk there. Jebel, am I correct in assuming that your fairy fire should wear off by now?
Give me a second. Fairy fire. Up to a minute.
Right. We're getting close to that. Would you have dropped it by now, or are you gonna just let it go all the way?
Either are, I suppose.
I assume you can continue concentrating. You can continue concentrating on it after wild shaping, so that's fine.
Yeah, I keep it calm until it just runs out.
Okay. When you return to the top, do you maintain your Finch form, or do you let it go? You can hear your allies' voices, and you know that the Dragonborn are gathering up.
There's no light in here, is there?
Nobody is carrying... Well, Laramendus has a light. Laramendus, I assume that you've been keeping, Ash at a, null light state, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, just the glyph on the front of the stone that makes up Ash's eye is, like a burning ember. Not really generating any meaningful light.
Then I would head in that direction. I'm gonna ask, are any of them left?
So, Laramendus had previously telepathed that one of them had surrendered.
Okay.
I don't remember how long ago that was, like, in actual game terms, but it was fairly recent.
Yeah, it was within, like, 20 seconds.
I get towards...
So are you still telepathing if there are any left?
Did he just said that one surrendered, he didn't say that the rest had been defeated?
I think he either said one or the last has surrendered, but he did say it while you were falling. Or while you were transforming.
I did not say anything about everyone else being defeated, because I did not know that. And I think at the time that he surrendered, which I think is when I said it, that had not been the case.
So
Okay.
are you staying a Finch
still-
and fluttering over there clumsily, or turning back into Jebel and walking over there with dark vision?
I'm going... Which one is Laramendus?
This one.
Yeah, I'd head towards Laramendus, considering that's the light source. And...
I mean, he's not... Again, he's not... He has a small, like, not even a candle flame. It's just this, like... There's
yeah,
this glowing...
I can see it.
Uh-huh.
So I don't... As a Finch, I don't have dark vision.
Yeah.
So I would get next to him, and then revert back to gnome form.
Oh, okay. Dragonborn, let's start with Yukikaze. You three defeated the last enemy, and then got the telepath that someone was surrendering. What do you guys want to do? What do you want to do, Yukikaze? You'll also know that, you know, your druid had been tossed down a hole, and then Cyrus went down after him, but then Cyrus came back up, and a bird came back up.
Yeah, the same.
I had said we got it. I had made sure to indicate that we were on our way back up.
Logically,
but he doesn't know that because he's not on telepath.
Right,
Never mind.
Let's
Correct.
talk to Yukikaze.
No. Clicking the wrong things here.
So you saw...
I can put two together that Jebel's a bird, because birds are not going to be down in this cave more than likely. So
Roll nature.
Have I seen any birds this whole time I've been down here, Tristan?
I would say yeah.
Well, damn it.
Yeah.
Well, a finch, of all things.
I mean, just think of, big mall complexes. They get in there, too.
Yeah, but
Do you even know that it's a finch? Or is it just a bird to you?
I am a survivalist. I know variety of life, okay?
Desert
But
finch.
you didn't hear anything. Cyrus went down. Jebel went down. Cyrus went down. Jebel came back. A bird came up. You do know that you have a druid who can wild shape. You can make whatever assumption you want.
I want to say that's probably... I'm going to make the assumption that I know that that's Jebel because also Cyrus hopefully wouldn't leave Jebel all the way at the bottom of the pit, even if he did die. I would hope.
I mean, I will point out that the things that cloud this assumption are there are occasionally birds down here, even down here. You're not on the telepathic bond, so he could be saying anything to the others, including a monster ate him at the bottom and I ran away.
Alright, well, anyways, I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, so Raiken's there. So Cyrus is right next to me. He passed by me.
Yeah, he seems to be walking over to Laramendus.
I will stop him as he passes by me and be like, well, where's Jebel?
I'll look around for him, and point to him if I see him, and say if not, and if I don't see him, I'll just say, not sure, but he should be up here somewhere as a bird.
Okay. That's good. I'm glad he's okay.
Alright.
Then I will, I guess. Just don't need to really check on every enemies. Could actually just talk with the. So I'm gonna follow the group because everyone seems to be gathering up, and then I will see what's going on from there.
What kind of bird?
Finch.
Can finches see in the darkness?
No.
Nope.
Then why didn't you turn into an owl?
Let's see.
These finches are cool.
Didn't see
Ah!
water.
Roll to see if you hit any rocks.
Alright. Yukikaze. Raiken. You defeated the last enemy together with Rezim and Yukikaze.
Yeah, the Dragonborn bros.
And then you heard that there was a person surrendering after you heard that Jebel fell. And as you're responding to the... there's a prisoner, this person surrendering, you hear that Jebel's back. So what do you do?
Well, I believe I should have been able to see Leah heading in that direction, so Raiken's gonna follow where Leah went.
Okay. Alright. That puts everybody over here at about the same time. So, get to have a group discussion. You see, all of you, that there is a drow soldier clad in the usual leathers and some silver, kneeling on the floor. He seems to kind of be slumped, back on his heels. And he's got, you can see that there are weapons on the ground in front of him. And he's got his hands palm up, just sort of draped down on his thighs. And he looks very defeated. And to the people who are talking to him, specifically Vendar and Laramendis. He had just said that, given the given that you had killed his priestess and the recent betrayals of Lolth, he's feeling more willing to listen to outsiders than normal. I'm just gonna grab Resin and put him over here. So, given that, is there anything that you want to say to each other, to him, or to the group who has just gathered over here?
I will say to him, I don't know how much you know about what happened in Umberlight, but the city has broken from Lolth's influence and has begun making headways in an amicable relationship with one of the major cities on the surface.
When you do say the word Umberlight, he kind of like scoffs and spits to the side. He responds,
"It would be you servers come to talk to me about the Betrayer State. I'm guessing you were there."
We were, yes.
No wonder. Do you know why we're out here looking for you?
I think it has something to do with Rowan.
he kind of like narrows his eyes at Jebel, where he says,
The Overseer knows you're coming for the artifact. He has an army waiting for you at the gates of the city. What will you do against so many drow? You defeated our patrol easily enough, but I think you'll be overwhelmed.
You are all here. Anyone can respond.
You don't know us very well, then.
I don't know you from a hole in this cave. Except that you killed my mistress. But I'll tell you this. I don't like being beholden to the dragons. Lolth's punishments are one thing. At least those serve a purpose. Hers. This new arrangement isn't to my taste. I don't intend to join the likes of the followers of Illustray. So if you're going to kill me, I suggest you do it quickly. Prefer not to suffer.
That depends. I bet you know a way around the army.
The city is walled on 3 sides and backs up against an underground caldera. So entry from the 4th side is impossible unless you're immune to fire.
Can we be immune to fire? I ask across the telepathic bond.
Nope.
Well,
Can.
Okay, he can.
there must be something. Some secret entrance. Some smuggler's entrance or something.
I have a question for you, human.
Okay.
If I were to disclose such dangerous secrets about my home, what would be in it for me? And don't say Umbrelite.
Well, I would assume there are at least some people in that army of Drow that you would prefer not be dead. Even if they managed to take us down, a lot of them would die in the process. If you let us in, then we can make sure that there's at least far fewer casualties.
You have his attention. He is looking at you strangely. He seems to be pondering for you, choosing his next words very carefully. He seems surprised.
If there was a way to get the people I didn't want killed out of that army, you would turn a blind eye to them.
We don't want to kill anybody that doesn't attack us. We'd prefer to do this bloodlessly if it's possible.
We follow Lolth, and Lolth commands us draw blood. It is unlikely that any would turn from a fight with usurpers. Unless I could talk to them first. Even then, it'd only be a chance. But why are you interested in a bloodless feud? What do you gain from sparing Drow lives?
I've killed enough people in my life that knowing killing rarely solves. I would prefer to do this without killing anybody else.
As for me, it's a chance to show them a different path.
Converts among the Drow.
Even if Illustray is not to your liking, Why would you still wish to follow Loth? A god whose main goal ends up being to torture her own people. Who has to side with another deity altogether to try and take control of the surface. So even if Illustre is not to your liking, what of the others?
Oath's the one who gave us life. Child does not spurn his mother just because she disciplines him harshly.
Wolf may have been the one who created the drow in the first place.
Us.
But it's her edicts, her decrees, that make the drow so reviled, so hated. It's what binds them in chains and forces them into the dark.
Protects us. Prepares us for when we rise.
You wouldn't need that protection or preparation if it wasn't for her own decrees of violence and hatred.
You think Corellin will share his golden lands with the likes of us?
His problem is with her, not you. And I'll say this while showing him my holy symbol of Corellin.
You are small and young, and perhaps do not yet know the ways of the world. And yet I live, he says, looking at the others. I can't help but wonder if your ideals haven't infected these others. You, Dragonborn, we took your holy relics from your sacred city. Surely you wish to punish me.
The relics, I don't really care too much about. I have the relic I desire. As for my family that got murdered, I could, but I know that it was...
I killed them.
But it was really the dragons that were the true perpetrators of that. That's who I want my revenge on.
And now you witness the weakness that Loth has sowed with this arrangement. We can't even be credited with the lives we took. You blame the dragons.
Unfortunately for you, it's what I took my oath of vengeance on.
And if I had been the one to slay your family, you would still let me walk because I am not a dragon?
I could never truly believe whether you did or did not.
I don't understand you surfers. Normally anyone from up there found down here is all too ready to kill us. To fight. Yet you stay your hands. Strange people. Strange times. If you're not to kill me, will you let me go to my people and stop them from participating in the slaughter?
I think we should let him. I think it's a risk worth taking.
Is that spoken or on the bond?
On the bond.
Then I will reply on the telepathic bond. If he won't give up his worship of Loth, which I honestly think he will, if it's not for Lestray, then I cannot let him go. Then out loud I'll ask, perhaps, for me personally, it depends on something. You've voiced your dislike of both Illustray and Loth. Would you still serve Loth were you to get your allies out of the slaughter, as you called it?
One does not lightly dissent from the Spider Queen.
Indeed. We saw what happened at the city when one tries to leave her, and when one fails to stop someone who is.
Both suffers not failure. Soldiers perish, and the priestesses are punished far worse. I would rather live to fight another day. Perhaps wait for a time my goddess has come to her senses and ended this pointless alliance.
You'd just be biding your time.
What would you do?
If you truly believe your goddess is as misguided as you've been claiming, why not seek someone else? Cord or the Raven Queen, for example.
Did you seek another swordmaster just because yours dropped the blade once?
No, but this has been far more than once.
He looks at you inquisitively.
What is it you think you know? Tiny thing.
Sure, she's had this plan and this alliance for a long time. But she's been wanting to take over the surface for as long as the history books can remember. And yet, while any raid on the surface may have been successful in claiming a few lives, it always required you to fail in the end, to retreat back into the darkness. In my book, she's never once had a successful attempt on the surface.
Kind of looks around the other faces slowly, just sort of tracking his eyes over you.
any of you actually fought a war? Oh. Believe it or not, wars comprised of many battles, and even the small ones that look like failures often carry success in other ways. Were we never successful, we would do as you say and give up. We're not stupid. But we do not see the failures that you seem to. Each attack, though it ends at dawn, weakens the surface grip. And we will ultimately triumph. Because we have something many of the people up there don't. And that is time.
Very well. Well, we may not see eye to eye on that point. Perhaps you might consider it for reasons of either not wanting to be punished, either for having this failure, or just simply not needing to be punished for every misstep.
I feel like this conversation is a punishment. He smirks at you.
And one last question. So then what does have you so attached to her? And I'll subtly cast check thoughts.
Do you have a mother?
I do.
Did you kill her?
Would I kill her? No. Would I leave her if she had treated me such as yours? Yes.
With your...
The family you choose is always stronger than the family you're born into.
With your detect thoughts, you know that he feels that it is not the same in his case.
Let's see.
Is there...
You have these long lives, and they're entirely dictated of how you have to live them. You have the opportunity to live for yourself for once.
I have a thought though. I know I really have. I've been just been listening. Like, she birthed all the drow period?
You ask him that?
Yeah.
Okay. he actually laces his fingers in front of his face as he studies you, Yukikaze.
Oh? She is the Spider Queen. She is our goddess, and she created the drow by removing the imperfections of the elves from us. I had a drow mother.
Well, my thought was just the... I need time to think about a response. Forgive me. I'll get back to you in a minute.
He looks slightly amused, but mostly annoyed. He turns back to Bendar.
So you would have me live as I please, without worrying at the constraints set by Loth or my priestesses.
That is what I am offering.
Go where I will, unfettered.
I can't promise you wouldn't face resistance wherever you go. We're not going to...
If I fight that resistance.
That is how it happens. If we were to find that you had killed a bunch of innocents, we would probably track you down and kill you.
How exactly do you gauge innocence for my own edification, so that I can make proper judgment?
Particularly women and children.
Are they incapable of committing crimes?
No,
Naturally
they're
born
not deserving
pure.
If you defend yourself, then that's something. But women and children are not going to attack you, and even if you end up in a fight with them, you don't have to kill them.
These are interesting thoughts upon which I will ruminate deeply. So, let's say I want this freedom to speak of. Do we just go our separate ways now? Or do I need to ask permission from some mighty lord first?
You lead us to where you can get us into the city, and you go and you talk to your people, and then you can go your separate way after you get us into the city.
I take you there. Secret passage. I go to my people, and the ones I choose and me disappear.
Yep.
And you will not hunt us.
Not unless we find some reason to. We don't plan on hunting you.
Well, that is interesting, isn't it? I gotta know, does everybody here feel that way? What about you, Elf?
I would like to see there be as little bloodshed as possible. And I am aware how long our lives can be and the kinds of things that can change during them. I am of the opinion that people deserve their second chances, their time to change. And so, if we can get in, and you can take your
people. A follower of that moon goddess.
No.
You know it's her fault, right? The schism between elves and drow. The rift between Corellin and Loth. Do you not blame her? As I do. You must not, or you wouldn't be spouting her tripe.
This voice in the sky.
Yep.
I just want to be sure on what I'm aware of.
You can roll religion.
About the, yeah.
I believe you've got a pretty high plus for it.
I do, and that was an 18 on die. So, my religion roll
30.
is a 31.
What do you know? Your
I also
college.
want to roll religion to see if I understand which goddess he's talking about.
Okay, roll religion. We'll start with you, actually.
Sir?
I probably have absolutely no clue whatsoever because I got a 3.
You got a 3. Well, you know that there are a lot of gods and goddesses up there, and one of them is probably the goddess of the moon. That he brought it up after after Laramentis said everyone deserves a second chance is probably important. As for your 31, as it turns out, every now and then paying that much for college really is worth it. You do know from the deep studies of history, mythology, and folklore that it is, at least among scholars, commonly understood that the Drow are a result of Lolth spurning and betraying Corellin after he had a dalliance with Sehanine.
Cool. I just wanted to make sure that I was correct in my remembering of things.
Yeah.
Um,
If you remembered something like that, then the answer is yes.
yeah, sweet. Yeah, that was basically what I had been thinking. So he had just asked if I was a follower of Sehanine, since I was spouting very Sehanine-like lines.
Yes.
So I will say to him, I can understand the assumption. I personally am quite aligned with Ione. And I feel that needless death does not line up well with her desires for knowledge, as everyone has their own stories to tell. Everyone has their own things that they have learned. Everyone can contribute. So I would prefer for people not to have to die before their time.
Take this story back to your libraries. Sometimes Drow must consider their relationship with Earth. That does not always mean that they're ready to leave her.
After that, he turns back to Vendar and says,
Very well. I'll show you a trick, and you'll let me vanish. That's the deal.
That's the deal.
Then we should go.
I would like to insight, and I feel like there's also some things that Cyrus should probably be aware of because of his detect thoughts. But
yes, I will share the detect thoughts with Cyrus.
The insight's
insight
a good
roll.
idea.
So my passive insight is a 15. Rolled a 5 on die.
Very nice.
It was. I wish I'd gotten the 18 on my insight and the 5 on my religion, because I don't think it would have changed my religion in any way to have gotten in
He-
18.
Seems, as far as Drow go, pretty sincere. He's been very open with you about his intent not to do what you want him to do.
Mhm.
So it seems like he does not feel he needs to lie to you.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Vendor, I believe that you said you were interested in rolling Insight. Is that true?
Yes, sure.
What did you get?
Not great. 11.
Okay. He seems pretty oddly sincere, but that could be because he believes that you'll kill him, and that he has no longer any reasons to lie about things.
Okay.
That is what your roll tells you.
If we are to go, then we should depart. I assume you want me up front to catch any arrows.
No, you can stay in the middle, or if you'd prefer.
How generous. I won't travel with traitors. The ones who got you this far, we're done with them. Send them back, or I'll take the shortcut to hell right now.
That's really what you want to do. That pit might be a good start.
That's what we call the shortcut to hell. You send one of my driders there. It's fine. She wasn't much of a friend.
So what will you do?
I'll say our telepathic bond. He does intend to lead us there, but he'll weigh his options once he's there as to whether or not he'll be joining us or joining back with his... well, not joining us, but running or joining with his people once again.
It's a gamble,
We
but I
could...
think we should take it.
We could try and take him to attempt to see if maybe we could convince him with action rather than word, but if in the end he tries to join his people, I can't let him leave.
will we be able to properly... This is over telepathic bond. Will we be able to properly judge if his intent is to go and take those he cares about and leave, or if his
there are
intent
none
is...
he cares about. It's just him.
Okay.
But
Well, that's simple then. That's unfortunate. It would be nice if there were fewer of them over there.
But I have another spell slot that I can cast Detect Thoughts with again once we're there. To judge his intentions.
Voice in the sky. Which of the guards is the one who is on the bond with us?
That would be Irin.
I say to Irin the gist of what has been discussed over here. So,
are you going to include that the Drow will not travel with you if you take him with you?
Yes.
Okay. Irin, there'll be a pause in the line saying, well, that makes what I've been hearing make a bit more sense. If you believe he will actually take you to the city, then Taylor and I can return to Umberlight. We were just going to take you to the outskirts anyway, and then take our leave. We're not far now. Barely an hour's walk. What would you have us do? We're your guides.
Are you okay with leading us to him?
No, but I'm not in charge. Just, if it takes more than an hour, he's probably led you astray.
Over the bond to Cyrus. You said that he has the intent to bring us there. How confident are you that he intends to do so in a reasonable manner?
Tristan, would I be able to glean any of that information from the time that I had Detect Thoughts on?
Your Detect Thoughts led you to understand from his surface thoughts that he wanted to go back to the city and weigh his options. And so you believe he will do so. Because at least on the very surface, and he has no reason to know that you're reading his mind, this is what he's telling himself he's going to do.
Alright. Then I'd say in response, it's my belief he'd take us back as quickly as possible, but he wants to get back there himself, with or without us. So, I believe he would take at least a fairly direct route.
Aaron, do you know what color of the tunnels we are to follow to get from here?
Verbally giving directions in a place like this is next to useless, I'm sorry. But if you're familiar with the mosses...
I am.
Well then,
Yeah, he gives you a sequence of mosses that is about 3 long.
this is After that, it should all be purple. Because that's what grows near volcanoes.
Gotcha. I make sure to note them down. And I will be able to tell if you leave us astray.
If you see the wrong moss next. About the best I can tell you.
I think that Leah had said, I will be able to tell, not how can I tell,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
I misheard.
Cool, just wanted to, yeah.
Thank you.
It's been an honor traveling with you all. Unexpected honor. Not you specifically, unexpected. Saw your heroism. Anyway, I think you know what I mean.
Stay safe. You'd better make it back in one piece. I intend to visit next time I'm in the city.
I've got Thala. He'll protect me.
I'm sure he will.
Give him our regards and thank you to both of you.
Sure we'll meet again someday in Umberlight. I can't say exactly what you'll face at the City of Onyx. Things have been different in the Underdark the last few months, so just be on your guard. Bye.
Farewell.
Doral comes over.
I was about to go find him.
I do say, you will be on the bond until I cast it next, so...
Oh, well.
There will be some amount of time that we can still talk.
Well, alright then.
Good way, know that you're safe on the way back.
This isn't awkward at all.
That is like when a costume, like when the guy behind the counter says goodbye before you're done. And they just awkwardly stand there packing your wares.
Say goodbye to a friend, and then you realize you both have to go the same way to get back to your respective homes.
Oh yeah, that.
Yep. Classic.
Alright. So, they slip off, as far as you know. Doral comes up.
As well. This is gonna be interesting, isn't it?
Seems so.
We should let the drow know we let go of the others.
I was gonna give it another couple seconds to see if anyone suggested it.
If no one else is going to say anything, I will say to him, all right then, our Gynes are going their own way, so...
He kind of looks around the group, like, interestedly, and he gets that smirk on his face again. He goes,
"That's a neat trick. can't see anyone's lips move. Alright. If you don't mind, I'm gonna just take a quick loop around here to make sure you're not pulling any funny business on me.
While he does that, I'd like to try and fill in the group verbally about what I saw at the bottom of the pit.
Okay.
I guess, telepathically, he does intend to return to us after this loop, or should we have someone follow him? Not surreptitiously follow him, I mean, a step behind him follow him.
Well, there he goes. If he doesn't come back, I mean, we could still call urine at this point. Anyways, there's some sort of rift at the bottom of that hole. Well, I suppose I don't really call it the bottom. You still keep falling after you go through. My best guess is it's like one of the perpendicularities that I pointed out for a lot of you on the map. I'm not entirely sure where it leads, but it's certainly not the Feywild.
He called it the shortcut to hell.
Yes,
Maybe it goes to hell.
it could be, but there's not really a way to know for sure.
Yeah, I don't want to go through and test it.
Now, if anyone of you are paying it, like looking at the direction of Leah, you will notice that she suddenly looks very uncomfortable and nervous.
My guess would be it's the Shadow Dark.
I might be interested in asking a question today once everything's all said and done and we can figure out where it goes.
A couple things through, trying to test its properties, seeing if it had any pull or if it would prevent someone from crossing back through once they passed through on this side.
And?
It doesn't seem like it would, but it's certainly not a guarantee.
Maybe we could send Ash through.
I imagine he just looks appalled.
But it's for knowledge.
I suppose I could send my familiar in. And then
It's probably
have her
safer.
come back.
Is this something that we wish to explore before heading off, Scholar?
I think it could be worth sending Kyoko and having her come back.
And if for
as
some
we
reason
go.
she cannot,
Then we will have gleaned something interesting. And I'll have to resummon her again at another point. I haven't brought her out in quite a while.
Very well. The drow reappears at the other end of the group.
as well, I guess I'll trust you for now. Are we ready to go?
Almost.
And when he says that, I will summon Kyoko and tell her to fly down the pit. And then, after she has gone through the...
He hears almost, watches you wave your hand, and then this owl just appears, poof, and you just hear him go,
I am certain Lolth is already punishing me.
I look at the owl, and then I point down, like I am like looking for a little bit, and then I point down, and then back up. The owl just, gets a look. like it hates me. But like more than owls usually look.
In your head, you feel the sigh.
That will be an interesting data point. And at that, I need to go and give my cat some insulin. So.
Well, then let me give you the piece of information first so that we can then move on, because I don't want to wait 10 minutes for 2 sentences. She sighs at you and asks, "How far do you want me to go before returning?"
Let's say 50 feet.
The portal's a good 500 feet down.
Past the portal.
Very well.
So it's 550 feet then, however many feet. Portal is down plus another 50.
And just so you know, I used the 0 point thingamabob, and it lost connection at about the 10-foot mark.
Interesting.
I don't like the sound of that.
So go 10 feet.
And if I lose connection at 10?
Well, you'll already be too far for me to speak with by the time you get down to the portal. So if you lose connection, then if you do not come back, then I will just have to resummon you. At some point tonight, probably.
If I meet a horrible end down there, I will
Then
blame you.
Well, you can blame me as long as you tell me about it when next you return.
She takes to the air and flutters down the hole. You kind of get like this steady sigh for several seconds, and then it just cuts out.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you wait?
I mean, how long should it take her to get down?
If owls have a fly speed of like 30 or 40 feet, and she's going, 510, and then, 1,020, divide that by 30, it's gonna, take,
Owls have a fly speed of 60.
It was fly speed of 60, okay, cool. Then it's going to take 15 turns, right? So it'll be, like, a minute and a half.
Yeah, I look over at Lorelei and snarkily say, be glad you're not his familiar.
While the Kyoko business is going on, I would like to take a quick look around the room if possible. I doubt this is going to be something I can do, but I'd like to try and find an item that I could use to focus a teleportation back here at some point.
It's the big special pit. Feels distinctive.
The stalagmites coming up out of the ground up here, they're sedimented, so they are a different stone from the ground, and they have a unique look to them as they have many minerals within them, both metallic and crystalline. So you believe that you could pound a fist-sized chunk off one, that it might work, since they are uniquely created here. That should give you a strong connection.
Okay. I think I have some pittons in here somewhere.
Etons?
Nope, not those. Oh, actually I don't. So then I guess I would actually address probably the Dragonborn and see if they would have anything that could help me get a chunk of this rock for later. And since one of them is not on a telepathic bond, I'll have to do that out loud.
Let's get the crowd going.
Really? This is what you're making me wait for? A rock collection?
Oh, no, we're waiting for the bird. This is something I'm just doing while we wait.
So, 2 Dragonborn in the party. Does either of you want to respond to your party member?
Raiken doesn't really have anything to respond. He's just keeping watch on their surroundings. To make
So
sure.
you're saying no to him?
He asked if you could punch a rock for him, like real hard.
How loud does he say it?
Loud enough.
He's standing basically right next to you.
I guess Raiken will punch a rock. I mean, the rock's not challenging him, but I guess, sure.
Alright.
Should I roll the punch rock?
What are the tools you wish to use? He's asked you to extract a fragment of the stalagmite over there.
He's gonna try to, like, chop it with his axe.
Okay. Yeah, you're good now, Sam.
That's not punching.
Alright. You may try to chop it with your axe. Roll.
$21.
21. But you easily hit the rock. Use your axe magic or just silver?
Just silver.
Okay. So, sparks fly. You can roll damage. It's slashing damage. Sparks fly, and a couple little chips of rock do rattle to the ground, very small slivers. And as you pull the axe blade away, you notice a big divot in the edge of it from where you struck the rock.
That is 11 points of non-magical silver slashing and 1 radiant.
Yeah. The rock seems to take it really well. The axe seems to not appreciate it very much.
I'll try casting Mending on the axe.
Mending, you will need to find the fragments of axe. And as you can see, the lion's share of the damage is just smushing the metal, not breaking it off.
Well, I was hoping Mending would work.
Mending puts 2 broken pieces of something together.
Bummer.
So if it's not broken into different pieces, Mending can't fix it.
Good to know for future reference.
Break it in half.
It would still have the smushed part of it. Do you have perhaps a bludgeoning weapon, something better suited to this, Raiken?
No.
Do you have a climber's kit?
I doubt it.
I have a climber's kit.
Hey, somebody has a climber's kit!
I have...
I have a thunder gun.
You do? Are you going to draw it out and try using it?
No.
Apparently he's been vetoed. I've got a slap chop. Can a slap chop work?
You could try the slap chop on it.
Raiken will try the slap chop.
All right, you pull out one of your 3 slap chops and you bash it against the rock, and it breaks into a million tiny shards of pieces. Like, does 0 damage to the rock.
Well, it's a good thing I got 2 more.
It was not up to this task at all.
Where's the
And good news, you can use mending on that.
If you find all the pieces.
You gotta get all the pieces, just stick them together, one break at a time.
Take hours of casting the spell non-stop.
We're gonna fix the slap chop. We're gonna put the slap chop together again, one break at a time.
Where's the
Tough.
piton? Where's the pitons when we need them?
I believe that Vendar has them. Vendar, are you gonna offer them up?
Sure, I'll offer some pitons.
Okay, Raiken or Yukikaze, whoever does one of you wish to.
I mean,
Take-
Raiken's dedicated to beat.
Raiken's dedicated. Now that he's like damaged his axe and destroyed a slap chop, he is dedicated to taking a piece of this rock.
Yep, he was this close to using his dwarven slice processor for Mercosian.
It does feel like it would fare better than the slap chop.
Yeah, but that one's one of a kind, though.
It's true, you did only get one of those. You got a deal on those other things. Alright, so, Vendar, sees you destroying things on this rock and comes over and says, hey, do you want to try the tools in my climber's kit? And inside there are, of course, the hammer and the pitons, which you know that you could use to perforate an area of the rock and pry out a chunk.
Oh yeah, Raiken immediately grabs those.
Okay, just make me 3 athletics checks.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna walk around the pillar and see if I find any stone that's loose.
Okay, you walk around it.
Okay, I got a 22, a 24, and a 19.
Okay, yep, it takes you about a minute of just pounding the piton in a little ways, moving it to another spot, pounding it in a little ways, moving it to another spot, until you can kind of, like, draw a circle around this chunk, fist-sized chunk, then you just pound it sideways, and it pops it out for you. While he's pounding away, clink, 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 Leah, you circle the column, and you don't find any loose rock that resembles the pillar itself, but you do notice that the body is gone, the body of the priestess.
Well, what happened to her?
Yeah, I'm gonna call Vendar over. Vendar?
Yeah?
You shot the priestess, right?
Yeah, she's dead.
She's not here.
That's weird. She was definitely dead.
You checked her earlier. You know she was definitely dead, Leah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can confirm she was dead. But that hasn't stopped bodies from moving before.
Are you gonna head over there, Vendar?
Sure.
This being said over.
It would have had to have been.
Tunetank,
Yeah, it would have had to have been.
I'm gonna head over to.
Okay.
Are there any obvious marks of where a body might have been dragged?
Yep.
Where does it lead?
Right over to the shortcut to hell.
Yeah, it looks like he dumped her down the pit. Must have done that when he was doing his rounds around.
I guess that's one way of burying a body.
Okay. You have your chunk of rock. It is a very interesting piece, Cyrus, as it is striated in layers as it's sedimented from above, and trapped within it are glimmering bits of quartz, aluminum, and iron. The iron, of course, isn't glittering. It's like rust red colored and green.
I'll stick that in my bag for later use.
Is Laramendus back yet?
I haven't heard him.
Yeah, he hasn't said he's back.
It'll probably be another minute or two.
Raiken is going to also give the tools back to Vendar. He'll go over and walk to Vendar to give it to him.
Okay. You give him back his tools.
I'm gonna go ask Raiken if he needs a replacement weapon for the time being.
Oh, that you just stepped in the goo.
What? Raiken will look down.
He looked at...
Why didn't anybody stop me?
It's not that easy to stop you.
Raiken's gonna like try any surface he can to try to scrape the goo off his foot. Oh, it's so disgusting.
Yep, you start scraping. It's very undignified.
As for my weapon, I mean, this is my only battle axe. Otherwise, I'm using a scimitar.
The axe still looks serviceable. It's just, damaged.
I'm gonna see if I can maybe sharpen it up a bit.
All right. Do you carry like a whetstone with you?
I could have sworn I had a whetstone, but it's not.
I mean, I don't know if they exist as an item on the item list. They might. Is it the kind of thing that Raiken would keep with him, a way of upkeeping his weapon? Is he the kind of person who diligently cares for his weapon? The answer can be yes.
Let's see. What's in? Nope, it's not in a mess kit. I would figure that he would at least carry one.
Okay.
Because I mean, if just fighting in general, you'd have to sharpen it too every once in a while.
Yep, makes sense. So you're gonna sit down and just start working on that divot you created?
Yeah, he's gonna at least try to get it started until everybody says that they're heading off.
Okay. Well, I'll let you work on it until Laramendus comes back.
He is back. He said he was back.
Oh, okay, I didn't see it. You get a few good strikes in and kind of flatten out the mushed up part a bit. You can see that you've lost a little bit of the metal there, but you can at least sharpen what's there, and then you can always, either it's now just a nick, like a notch in your cutlass, a bit of character to the weapon. It's not going to affect the damage or make it more likely to break, or you can, have the edge reforged, when you get to a place that has a forge later. Those would be your options.
Okay, that's fine. Raiken will think about it.
It does look better than it now that it's not all smooshed in that part, and it's more just got a bite taken out of it a little, is what it looks like a bit more, just like a small bite. It looks better. and you were able to sharpen up the edge around there, so you know it's serviceable.
Truly battle worn.
Yeah. Alright, so, minutes go by, Laramendus, and Kyoko does not return.
Okay. At that point, I will say, interesting. I don't think she's coming back. And then, well, I hope that she has something interesting to report when I summon her again. I'm ready.
Alright, then, at this point, I will switch us over to Map Tool, which should be as easy as turning Hailspire off. And it is. Cool. So, you go to the stream. You begin following this Drow soldier who has the agreement with Vendar that he will take you to this secret passage and then he will disappear. And so he begins leading you through the caves. Leah, you are able to confirm with the knowledge of the mosses that while one of the mosses you saw seemed wrong, after that everything turned purple. So you're not exactly sure why one was wrong and then everything turned purple, but the fact that everything turned purple seems right. So you were worried and suspicious for a few minutes, like 10, and then all of a sudden everything was okay. He leads you through tunnels and corridors and through open caverns, and one thing that is true of all of these things is that they all are growing steadily warmer, uncomfortably hot and humid. And in several of them, there are open lava flows. Until he comes to an extraordinarily large cavern, and you can see on the distant roof that it is glowing orange, lit from below by open flame. And it is here that he leads you into some tunnels, continuing to drag you, in this case, map west, until he gets to a certain point where in this cave he throws out his hand to tell the group to stop. And he whispers to, according to this order, Cyrus. Says, "Hold on. Someone's here."
I'll simply nod and then relay the message over the bond if it's still active.
I imagine you would have stopped to reactivate it, Sam?
Yes, I would have.
Okay. Then yes.
And does that mean Yukikaze is now on it?
Yukikaze is now on the bond.
Is this guy on the bond?
No.
Okay. What?
For a second I thought you meant resin, and I was like, unfortunately, he won't be. But no, I figured you meant our new friend.
Resum's a second-class citizen.
Look, we can only fit so many Dragonborn on the bond. They take up so much space. They're very tall.
He's going to move ahead, still signaling behind for you to wait. And he's going to round a corner in the cave low before you kind of see him straighten up a little and walk forward. And you hear his voice come down the tunnel as he says, "What are you doing here?" And you hear another voice echo, also speaking in Undercommon, though not as harshly, as it says, "Well, I was hoping to find my friend here. Perhaps you remember my Dragonborn?" Says, you hear his voice again. He says, "It's possible I've seen him. Wait here." And he comes back around the bend.
I want to interrupt you for a second, because I just remembered a thing that I wanted to remember to do.
Yes, because I was supposed to remind you to do something, and I can't even remember what it was.
Well, there are two things, actually. One of them was the one that I had said about, at some point after we are all on the bond, Laramendus will convey that while in the mansion, he got a sending from...
That was it.
It was from Kazanari?
Yes.
Right? Who is Dusty's mage. Right?
Yes.
And I will find that in a second.
Ah, yes, Dusty.
That's important.
Right here. So it had said, obtained relic, strong, then it cut out a bit, magic aura, something cut out when ready, will something, coordinates, something, place in bag of holding or pocket, something, it may something. I attempted to respond that due to the fact that we were in a demi-plane, sending was not behaving the way that it should be, and that in order to, I will attempt to clarify the sending as soon as I am comfortable spending the 3rd level spell slot on another sending.
When you say that, I'm gonna come back to you and just try and discreetly hand you my Stone of Sending and say, "Oh, the bond, do it now."
Okay. So, what was my... Now I need to jump because I need to see what my response was. What was the uninterrupted? Okay. Hold on. So I will construct that. Other sending slightly off to the side because we can't act on the information immediately.
Okay.
So I'll do that. The thing that I also remembered, how far from the city did we think we were?
Did you think you were when?
Basically, I wanted to cast Locate Person.
Okay.
With the target of Rowan.
Gotcha.
It lasts an hour.
Okay.
And so I wanted to be relatively close to the city so that I would have that... Basically, I didn't want to have to cast it when we got into the thick of things.
Okay. So if he ever enters the distance, it will ping.
Yeah, so Locate Person means if they are within 1,000 feet of me,
Yep.
I know exactly where they are.
Okay.
As long as they don't have some, non-detection, something preventing divination spells from...
Well, you know that you entered a large, high-roofed cavern. You couldn't see the city from where you were, though it is, dark and expansive, but you know that there's a lot of light of flame, it seems, illuminating one portion of it, and then you went into some caverns within the cavern, some tunnels within the cavern. So you probably imagine that these are the tunnels that he wishes to smuggle you into the city through, so probably close.
Okay, so when he steps away is probably a good time for me to cast the spell.
Okay, is it a single action casting?
I believe so. I will double check.
Yeah.
I think it's a 4th level spell. Yeah. Yes, a single action.
Okay, then yes, when he steps away, you quickly pull out whatever it is you need and say the words, and poof.
So the spell can locate so describe or name a creature that is familiar to you. You sense the direction to the creature's location as long as the creature is not 1,000 feet of you. If the creature is moving, you know the direction of its movement. So I guess I don't know exactly where it is.
You just know it's within 1,000 feet and what direction it's going.
Yeah.
Okay.
The spell can locate a specific creature known to you or the nearest creature of a specific kind, as long as you've seen such a creature up close within 30 feet at least once.
You've traveled with this guy.
Yeah. This spell can't locate a creature if running water at least 10 feet wide blocks a direct path between you and the creature.
Does lava count as water?
So it's no, it's not water.
Okay. I mean, it's molten stone, and water's molten minerals. Like, humans are lava people.
So,
If
water is lava, lava is not water.
If Jebel polymorphs or wild shapes into a horse and runs between you, does that count as running water?
He's not 10 feet wide.
He would be as a horse.
No, he threatens a 10-foot space, which is not the same thing as being 10 feet wide.
You're not letting me have my fun with this.
And honestly, you would need like a series of horses, because as soon as he's no longer running between us, then I can detect it. So like it's interrupted for the length of a jebel.
Uh-huh.
If you become a liquid, are you water?
You are already 70% water. Okay, so I'm going to tell you now that it's possible it's pinging right now, but I don't want to go and measure the distance until I'm ready to, like, reveal the map. So...
That's perfectly fair.
Soon. Alright,
yeah.
So he's going to come back around the corner, and he's just kind of, like, going to be looking over the group, and he's going to point at the nearest Dragonborn, which happens to be Raiken, and says,
"Hey, did you misplace a tiefling?"
No.
Okay.
He starts, like, squeezing his way through the group, and gets to Yukikaze since he's next. He says, "What about you?
Did you misplace a tiefling?"
No.
He just, like, sighs audibly and turns, and Rezim is, like, scratching his chin, and he, like, looks down, and you can almost see this, like, look on his face, like he is just giving this guy so much shit. And he says, I misplaced Tiefling earlier. And he kind of, like, looks at the group. He says, during an Ebolith fight.
Right. Still have that fun to look forward to later.
As he responds to this, you are going to hear footsteps at the around the corner of the tunnel that you're in, and a armored. I don't have a good image. I've only got a few tiefling images right now, and I didn't feel like going and trying to find a good one. I'm just using one of my existing ones. But ahead of you, a tiefling does round the bend, and they are holding a torch to light things. You can see that they are heavily armored. You can see that they have their helmet off, and they have dark blue skin. And you can see that they are massive. And as this armored tiefling rounds the corner, they kind of like stop suddenly as their light falls upon the group in this enclosed tunnel, and they look a bit surprised before they say, "I know I heard you in there, Rezim." And Rezim is going to start pushing his way up through the group, like jostling all of you. And as he like kind of pushes Vendar out of the way and steps forward, he's going to smile and says, "Eris, it has been at least a day, so long. I thought you were dead." Eris is going to stalk forward, holding the torch out to the side, before stopping in front of Rezim and punching him with their offhand. And you can see Rezim's body is moved by the force of this blow.
We can all see this?
Yeah, you're crowded into this tunnel, but, you know, you've all got view as you peek around each other.
Those close to Mick and Haley, I go, "Oh, I like this one."
As they say, "I thought you were dead when the cavern collapsed and you and the thing fell." In any event, I wasn't gonna go jumping my ass down there after you. I figured if you got away, we'd meet up here. And then you didn't show up. I've been here... They kind of look around. "I have no idea how long I've been here. I took a nap." And Rezim puts up his hands defensively and says, I'm sorry. These are my new friends, acquaintances, colleagues. Yeah. They helped me to defeat the Aboleth. It was a nasty bit of business. You, new friends. This human, Vendar. This is my friend, Eris. We work together.
It's nice to meet you.
Eris lowers their fist and like turns to the group as they seem to kind of be taking you in again. Like they had looked over the group when they first rounded the corner, but now they seem to be actually trying to like see you. And they sigh, say, "Hi. I think that we'll get introductions after I at least understand why you came here with Rezim."
You kind of fell on us.
That is true. They were in the cave below where we fought Ebolith, and as I said, they saved me. And Eris turns back toward Rezim again and like leans in close, and they say that you hear like you hear them hissing at him like, "You're not cutting them in on the next job, are you? There's not enough money to go around this many people." He puts his hands up again, kind of defensively, and says, No, it's not like that. I figured that if you were not dead, that I might find you here at City of Onyx, and so it would be safer to travel with them until, we found you. And, hey, I was right! Here you are! And he, like, reaches out for a hug, and you see Eris, like, shoves him back, like, angrily. He's kind of chuckling to himself at the side before you see Eris sets the torch down and they throw their arms around him. I really did think you were dead. It had me so worried. Now, why don't you introduce me to
to your friends and tell me, because now I'm curious, why they're here.
Resin will introduce each of you, pointing.
Yep.
If somebody wants to answer Eris' question, they can.
Telepathically, I will say, are we just saying that we have business in the City of Onyx? Or is there something else that somebody who is more composed than I...
Well, Resim already knows what for anyways, right? So, what does he? I forgot.
I think that we had conversations around things at the table where Resim had been if he hadn't found out about things before that. I guess a lot of our conversations have been over telepathic bond.
Should we just really quick, just tell him quick and simple? Just we'll say long story short, and then give him the quick gist. If no one's gonna speak up, I will.
Alright, what do you say?
Alright, I'll say for time's sake, just a quick a synopsis of what we're doing is there's an item in Onyx we need to fight dragons. We're coming to get it. Since we have Resim, he's coming too. That's basically it.
You see Eris, their orange eyes with a faint glow to them kind of widen as they listen to you say this. And you see their weight shift from one foot to the other kind of heavily. And they say, "You're going into the city to take something?"
Yes.
Do they know that that's what you want to do?
Yes.
So I'm guessing that the welcoming committee is for you.
Yes.
You're going to start a war with the City of Onyx.
Don't wish to.
That war has already started.
Yeah, we already were in a different city before this.
No.
No.
No. We're not helping you with that. We have business here. Legitimate business. We're business people. We're not starting a war with our clients. If you want to start a war with them, they look very pointedly at Resim, like putting their face closer to his. We're not going with you.
Actually, Tristan, for my knowledge, crap.
We still need to collect the bounty on that aboleth.
And Resim kind of rubs the back of his neck and says, "Yeah, I have not forgotten. I'm sorry, my friends. Eris is right. We do not wish to fight our clients, especially not before being paid."
I'll say with telepath, I was like, wait, did we even ask Resim to help? Period. I think I forgot that part.
I don't believe that there had been a discussion around that as an exchange for our assistance in his other work.
Yeah,
I don't believe we had discussed it.
I didn't think so. I think I spoke.
I, of course, appreciate everything you've done for me, and of course, if you ever need help that is not fighting one of my clients, you need only ask. Resin is in your debt, but this is beyond us. We do not.
I'm sorry, as I jumped to conclusions there. I was just being hopeful. I understand.
Him.
Just as long as you don't join their side against us.
I mean, unless they pay us. Maybe they'll pay us. And Eris kind of puts a finger to their chin. They seem to actually be thinking about that.
I'll pay you with a set of gloves of arrow catching for you not to fight against us.
Eris' finger kind of falls away from their face. And they look at you pointedly. Say, gloves of what now?
Arrow catching. That lets you catch arrows.
By some form of magic?
Yes.
Let me see the goods.
I'll pull them out of my bag and hold them where she can see them.
Eris looks from way back. Well, actually, you're right there. So they kind of, take a step towards you and, look them over. Say, well, they look like they could be magical. I don't know. I'd want a demonstration before I agreed to this, because they might pay us good money to kill you.
That would take
an hour.
Yeah, that would take over an hour.
They look at Resin. I got time.
We don't have all the time in the world.
Fine. I want you to look into Resin's eyes and tell him that those are magic gloves.
I look into Resin's eyes.
Resin looks back at you with his one good eye and his one gem eye, and you can kind of see, like, the pupil of his one good eye, like, growing larger and larger as he turns away from the flame. You almost see, like, a little rim of liquid around his eye, like maybe he's about to cry.
Could you come down just a little? There we go. Okay. Assuming Resin is actually at a height where I can look him in the eye.
Yeah, he bends down. It's true. This is magic.
Yes, these are magical gloves that, if you spend an hour attuning to them, will allow you to, once every few seconds, catch an arrow that is fired at you, should you have a hand free.
Swear it on your father.
I swear on my father, who is shortly behind me, that these gloves are magic.
They better be magic if you're swearing on my name.
They are!
Okay. He turns back to Eris. I believe him. They're magic. Therefore, valuable. Well, what do you think? Eris again seems to consider. Says, well, he is cute, even if he is a bit short for me. Alright. Give me the gloves, and we'll make sure not to take any contracts from the City of Onyx that include taking your life.
And the gloves. Deal.
They slip them on to their hands after pulling off their gauntlets. and say, "Oh, do you know if they work if I wear armor over them?"
Not offhand. Some of you have a little more experience with these things. Any idea?
I don't know, because I think Mike attuned him and immediately unattuned him when he found out that he couldn't use him due to how you were using a shield and an axe.
They look over the group as as Cyrus turns back, and they say, "Hey, the tall elf looks magically inclined. I bet he knows if it would work."
My Arcana check says a 31.
Again.
This was a 13 on die.
Oh, wow.
As long as
do I believe that they would work while wearing armored gloves?
the gloves of arrow catching become part of the skin after they've been attuned, so you should be able to put regular gloves over them.
Okay. I believe that you should be perfectly fine wearing gloves over them, as long as you have the hand free to catch things. But a glove wouldn't impede having a hand free.
Thanks for the info, handsome. They wink at you as they pull the glove over a very large hand. You can hear the fibers of the glove straining against the size of their hand.
Aren't they? I thought their magic things usually end up fitting onto whatever they're supposed to.
They do, you are correct.
When they're attuned, there'll be some adjustment period.
Oh, okay.
This was pulled on rather quickly.
Especially if they were most recently sized for a halfling.
Well then, if your business is concluded with them, for now, Resum, we can get out of here, right?
Resum seems to think for a moment and says, we are thinking of returning to surface after this job, so perhaps you'll find us there. Maybe, either Sylvanas or Bromdor. Had not decided yet. But you have wizard, so if you wish to find us, I think you can, yes?
Probably.
Yeah, it's if I need to get in touch, I can always get in touch with you, and then we can figure things out.
Very good. Then, if you do not mind, perhaps, wait to start war until after we are behind wall.
We can at least give you a head start.
That would be appreciated. Eris leans over and
I
says,
start pantomiming counting.
"You meet the strangest people whenever I lose track of you. The cute ones always gravitate towards you, too." They give one last look to the party before turning, picking up their torch off the ground, and stalking away down the tunnel. Says, "Come on, Resum, I don't know how long their head start will last." They call back over their shoulder before putting their helmet on, and their voice begins to echo. "It was interesting meeting you all. Maybe you'll survive this war and we'll meet again someday."
Someday.
With
If
that,
not, I'll hide the Raven Queen for you.
Nope, enter didn't work. I don't know how I'm supposed to accept that movement when I use the arrows. But that, Resmond Eris left your lives forever. No, spoilers. So, you're in this cavern, you've let them go on ahead, but clearly Eris seemed to know something about this welcoming committee, as they said. So, perhaps there is a place to get a better look at what you're heading into. What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
Yeah, scouting sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
That's especially with knowing that they're expecting us.
We also, I'm gonna say all the telepathic bomb. Armandus, you remember where I saw Rowan decide where they were gonna put some? Like, we saw that plan when I looked at him.
I don't remember out of character if the results of a scrying were visible to those not casting the spell.
It wasn't, but Leah explained everything she saw.
So Laramendus can parrot back the way that you described it.
Yeah. Because we should... Maybe we should find a way to take advantage of that. If they have someone like... Yeah, like we have people that can teleport, we have Vendar. We could probably find, like, take out some people before they even notice.
Half of us dimension door?
What? 500 feet?
I said, can half of us do it?
Oh.
I think it's just you.
I can also dimension door. However, that is taking my 1/4 level spell.
Just the thinking had been, if half of us could, then we could easily get through the wall. Just because we could just, take the rest. But if only two of us can, then...
It's 3 I can also do.
It still leaves one person behind.
I mean,
I'm sure you don't need them.
I could try and just...
Two people behind, because Doral's also here.
I mean, I could just try and fly over, stealthily.
That sounds dangerous.
Indeed. It's not exactly on the top of my to-do list.
We can have Doral turn into a dragon and trample them more.
That also sounds very dangerous.
Also, he's probably still suffering from the help that he gave us, so he's not doing anything.
That's true. They won't have to use magic to trample.
Is Doral still under... what effects of the spell is that we're aware of is he still under?
You know that Doral told you he couldn't cast spells for the next couple days.
Okay. Uh,
That's what you're sure of. That was weird. So, you move forward up the passage, and the drow with you, tells you, hang on. It would not be a very effective tunnel if you always came out blind to what was going on. And, he seems to, move a latch and pull a lever at the side of the tunnel, and this panel of wood on the rock kind of falls open, and as he pulls the lever, you can hear what sounds like a wheel turning somewhere, and slowly the tunnel that you're in, no longer lit by the torch of the tiefling, fills with an orange light. And what you can see beyond him is this pane of glass, it looks like, that has been turned at an angle, that seems to be showing a lava flow and a wall, and you can see centered in it is the gate to a city. And filled out in front of it are rank upon rank of soldiers backed up by archers. And they seem to be waiting. He kind of looks at this and laughs.
Says, well, you people sure are popular. That must be half the reserves.
Yeah, we tend to get that these days.
I'm sure that more of the city's guard, militia, whatever you would call it, are spread throughout the interior beyond the wall in case you did something to bypass them or fought your way through. Tiefling knew what they were talking about. That is just a welcoming committee.
how much did he say that was of the garrison?
You said something around almost half the reserves, possibly. Just the reserves.
Oh, just the reserves.
Tristan, I'm looking at the wall. How high is that wall?
About 50 feet.
Kikaze trying to jump the wall.
No. How much can you lift, Cyrus?
I can lift a rope.
Well, there's a plus.
As you are looking As you're looking over this drow's shoulder into the image on this pane of glass, you are going to see a smaller door set into the gate, like for single people to pass through, as opposed to regiments of soldiers or wagons, is going to open, and the soldiers there are going to begin to part as someone makes their way out. They'll just push out rank and move out of the way. As this pathway opens up in the middle.
Dun, dun, dun.
5 people come out.
Oh, that's a lot of dun-dun-duns.
I need to keep my mouth shut. I'm gonna go get a drink before I say something I regret.
This might be up there with the 10,384.5 Mummy Awards.
They move into the middle of this group. The soldiers around showing deference.
Are those images exactly what we see?
Huh? You notice that the overseer comes out into the middle, and they seem to be being guided by what look like winged dragonborn. Although, unlike Dragonborn, these are solidly of a color that you can see in the light of the lava around here. The area is effectively brightly lit. And as they get to the middle there, the overseer is going to start speaking to the drow around him, and they continue to show deference. And then he is going to turn to these dragonborn behind him and begin speaking to them. They do not show the same deference. And he draws out a curved silver sword and holds it over his head and continues to say something that you are too far away to hear any of what's going on. And he is going to... The red dragonborn is going to step forward and slap the blade out of his hand and when soldiers in the nearest ranks stand up to move in, the other Dragonborn are going to menace them and drop breath weapons across the ground in front of them as, like, lines to not cross. There is clearly something going on. What do you want to do? And, yeah, your locate person, by the way, Larmendis, is telling you that's him.
Okay. Telepathically, I will say, I would love to be able to cast Clairaudience down there, but it takes 10 minutes.
It does not look like you have that kind of time, if there is anything you wish to do about this situation.
One day, I will be able to actually cast Clairaudience. One day. I will confirm anyone's suspicions that that's Rowan. In case anyone was curious.
I am curious. What I'm more curious about is how we're gonna get into this city without having to fight a literal army.
Did we get any? I guess we are really far. How good of a look at the sword that Rowan has did we have?
It's pretty far, but you do have a weapons expert with you.
Yukikaze, again, telepathically, Yukikaze, can you tell anything about the sword that he has? Is it something that we had seen him with last time we dealt with him? Is there anything special that we might be able to glean from it?
Yukikaze?
Thinking.
You can roll history with advantage.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. And I do believe, well, my thought is that that's possibly Silverfang.
Can Raiken aid him? Or does it really matter since he has advantage on it already?
He already has advantage.
Alright, history. I do have history.
Since Raiken
Right is this area.
grew up next to it.
Bright light due to the lava.
I'm just going to turn to Leah and say, like, do you send Lorelei over there to spy on them?
I do want to point out that there is a thing happening now that if you don't do something about in the next few seconds, it could go badly for everyone over there.
Is that bad for us, though?
That's the question.
Alright, then I may have missed more than I thought, because I had stepped away to panic in private. I heard something about breath weapons used as guardrails.
Yeah, breath weapons used as guardrails because the red dragonborn is, like, throttling Rowan and has already disarmed him.
Then I would say, at this point, if you ever wanted a chance to turn Rowan or the Drow at least against Tiamat, this is our chance.
You might be right.
But to do something at this distance?
It'll get us there in a few seconds, but we need to decide right now.
I'm always ready to fight.
What was your roll, Yukikaze?
A 13.
Give you a
Even with
mulligan?
advantage.
I rolled low.
Can I give him a mulligan?
If you wish to give him a mulligan, you may.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a mulligan. There it
Nice.
is.
The dice are betraying me today.
Okay, well, not this one. I can feel it. My jellies.
There's no such thing as jellies.
Well, your jellies were doing good because that's a 21.
21. Okay.
Jellies
You
don't-
know that the weapon he held up is definitely not the weapon he was using the last time you saw him. And even though it's pretty far away, you feel confident. You feel it in your jellies. But that is the Silver Fang.
And
Lying on the
guys,
ground.
Larmendus, and everyone, that is the Silver Fang. I feel it. It's gotta be. And that was not what he was using before.
Okay, then I will reiterate. We have two options. Go in there and try and save him, or go in there, Larmendus, you can dimension door the two of us, and I can teleport us both out with the weapon.
He is currently having fire breathed on his face.
We have 5 seconds. Go.
We at least gotta get the weapon before they decide to destroy it.
I will follow if you guys go. I don't have the ability to do it.
I can dimension door you in, Raiken, if you need to.
I'd say we attack, and Yukikaze, someone get Yukikaze in there, he grabs the weapon while the rest of us try to fend them off. At least get the weapon.
I would like to cast teleport,
Okay.
because I've heard enough.
Okay.
And I would like to try and teleport us right in the middle of that.
Okay, teleport's an action, right?
It is an action.
Takes all
I would
willings?
be, yes, it would be willing, so I can't take the drow, and I will not be taking Doral, because I don't want him to take this risk without having first said he was going to.
Okay, is anybody else unwilling? Anyone unwilling?
Nope.
Alright. Vendar, are you willing?
Is he muted?
No!
He's not muted, at least in Discord.
Vendar? Alright, Laramandus, are you willing?
Yep.
Alright. Leah, are you willing?
Yeah, but one quick thing first.
Uh-huh.
Have you had a short rest since the last fight?
Yeah. You did a long talkie with that guy.
Yeah.
This is since the since I fell into the thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you had a long talkie with that guy. Nobody asked his name.
True.
Alright. And Yuki,
Maybe next time.
you said yes, you're willing?
Yep.
Okay, so... Vendar, are you awake?
Yeah.
Okay, are you willing? A spell is being cast that requires you to be willing. It was not announced to you what the spell is, but it seems to be Cyrus casting it.
Okay.
So yes, you're willing.
I'll let it happen.
Okay. Then, you need to tell me where you're putting everybody.
Well, let me double check
Right
what
into the lava.
the let's see.
He did say
Anywhere
right
on the
in the
plane.
middle of it.
I'm just trying to, yeah, so we all have to go to the same general destination. So
First,
then
I'm gonna
I
be
would.
looking intently where Silverfang is at the moment, like while this is all happening. I'm watching it.
Okay.
I would.
On Silver
Sure.
Thing.
I would just try and post like right next to Rowan with specifically Yukikaze like on top of Silver Fang if that's an option.
Alright, you try to do that. What does it say about being able to see your destination?
That makes it very familiar.
Okay,
So there is still a chance to screw it up.
Okay, roll it.
Okay, let's see. Percentile die, D10. Move my
Teleport
candy
us
out of
into the
way.
wall.
Need to consult the chart to see how bad this is.
Into the
You get
wall
a
or the
3.
lava. Into the wall or the lava.
Sorry, 1 second.
I feel like we need more
Very
exciting
familiar.
music. Hang on.
So it's Oh, wait! On target, yes!
Did you get a 26?
I got a 39. So we're not
13.
dead.
Not dead. Well, not dead is definitely good.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah, big yet.
Alright.
Not
Put
yet,
on
Battlefront.
some battle music just so that it's more exciting.
We have 9 minutes to fight.
Oh yeah, no. This is just about ambiance.
No, we're getting this done in 9 minutes. We got this. I believe it. If anyone can do it.
Alright, let's see here. You want this guy like right here, this guy like right here, this guy like right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. Boom.
In-game time, the encounter probably lasts less than 9 minutes.
Oh yeah, definitely. Almost definitely. Probably.
Did you swap me and Raiken?
Poof, you suddenly, the cave around you disappears, the window that you were looking at disappears, and your order standing around each other jumbles as you find yourself thrown through the dimensions, and now you are standing out here, and you can feel the breath of 100 soldiers all around you. You can feel the heat of the pool of lava behind you, lapping at you. And the three of you up front feel the heat of the flames pouring over Rowan as he cries out in pain. And you feel the drawn-in breath of the soldiers nearest you as they kind of, like, pull their weapons and back up. And the dragons before you, all humanoid, very humanoid, but with wings and tails, seem to look nearly unconcerned, but very interested as the red one stops blowing fire onto Rowan, who is very badly burned, in some places, especially around his face, through several layers of skin down to the bone. And he just sort of, one-handed, without taking his eyes off the newcomers, hands Rowan back, and he gets passed to the blue one. The red dragon steps closer so that the blade is on the ground between you and them, and he smiles at you in that reptilian way, Yukikaze, looking you up and down. Says, "So, you're the ones, aren't you?"
To kill you? Yes.
Sorry.
If that's what you wish to do, I'd be happy to let you try.
And he's going to... You're going to see him, like, flick his hand behind him without looking. And the blue, black, and green dragon, along with Rowan, and not that guy, are going to vanish. Actually, I will say, the blue one casts a spell.
Counterspell.
Roll it.
Do you beat me to the counterspell? Okay.
I'm in that kind of a mood, so I'm gonna go with yes.
Roll it.
Alright, and this is going to be a 4th level counterspell.
Okay.
And it's just my casting modifier.
Yep.
Alright, 15.
Okay. It fails. He
Okay.
continues casting.
I counterspell.
Okay.
Let me look at my spells. I'm gonna risk the 3rd level.
Okay. Roll it.
That is a 26.
Okay. The casting stops. And the dragons all glare at you. And say, the one in front says, "No. We need to have a negotiation with him. You can have him back later. I suggest you let them go." The blue one is going to start casting again.
Is this a different turn?
Yeah. Look,
Okay.
he's
I know,
clearly...
I just want to make sure that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
What are you going to do?
I telepathically, I will say, I'm not sure that I can continue counterspelling endlessly. If he's within 1,000 feet of us when they go, I'll be able to know where he is. But
Quickly
people want me to
decide.
keep counterspelling.
I'm going to counterspell, and while I do, say, we can't let them take him, or this moment will be for nothing.
Alright. Roll your counterspell.
4th level again. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter because I know 4th level won't do it. So 3rd level.
Okay. It counterspells
19.
your counterspell.
Dang it.
I'm gonna counterspell.
You're gonna counterspell?
You're wasting all the spell slots.
Yeah, this is another 3rd level.
Just another thing level.
The
Well, I
black
didn't
one,
suggest- I
the
said
black
this
one
is
is
another-
also going to roll up a counterspell now.
Okay.
Does anybody else want to throw a counterspell into the ring?
Kaza has a counter spell.
Are you gonna use it?
I will, yes, because I will believe in my teammates and.
All right, who are you?
Alright,
There are
so-
3 people casting right now. Who are you counterspelling? The black one, the blue one, or the? Or there's 2 people casting. The black one or the blue one?
Counterspelling the black one with a lot of the blue one to go off.
Okay, so counterspell.
Right?
What?
Right?
I don't know. You have to tell me. Who are you counterspelling? Like, these are just reactions, so you have to...
Yeah,
I'm telling you that things are being counterspelled, but, you know, they're really all you're seeing is flicks of the hands. And reacting, and you're reacting to them. So, are you going to be counterspelling the...
I think, yeah, the counterspeller, because I think it's going to be easier to counter the counter versus the actual spell.
Okay. Roll
So
it.
I'm gonna do. What do I roll again?
You roll a d20 and add your intelligence modifier to it, which is 0. So you roll a d20 and tell me what the result is.
Come on, D20. Don't fail me. A 5.
A 5.
Buy him a mulligan.
I mean, you can.
I would like to buy him a mulligan.
Oh, an 18. If the mulligan goes off, it's an 18.
Okay.
My dice doesn't want to work on the first roll for some reason today.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I tried to do this civilly.
You're going to have to roll initiative.
This guy red or black?
The one talking to us had been red.
I don't know. It was in black and blue, so I was a bit confused.
Those are the ones that are not on the screen currently because they were originally going to teleport. Or something like teleport.
That's a bad roll.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
Rowan, bloody and burned at the back, is just saying in common to you, "Don't let them take me!"
Damn, 22. 7. Raiken did better than me?
He did better than me here.
Ugh. At least I did better than Gemma.
halfway then.
Gemma got negative 18.
This is not the encounter where I want to be that low.
Join me. And together we will watch everything happen while we can do nothing.
To feel how Raiken feels.
Oh, they didn't teleport.
No.
Right, there was a lot of countering going on.
Yeah, no, I just got confused by the fact that
Took a grand total of 5 counters. Wait, no, 6 if you count the black Dragonborn's counter. 7 if you count the blue Dragonborn's counter too. So 7. 7 counter spells went off in the
Oh my god, why did
period
you
of
be
about
Vendar?
12
I
seconds.
think that was the best stack of counters that we had ever.
Vendar, what have you got?
I got a whole 15.
15. Jebel, what have you got?
18.
18. There. These aren't there.
Through all this, Raiken
Yukikaze, what you got?
17.
17. You're not there. Raiken, what have you got?
Raiken's 17, but he's obviously
Oh, so look at this Raiken roll. Leah, what you got?
6.
6. Lair, what you got?
9.
9. You went up from last fight. Cyrus, what you got?
22.
22. Alright. So I just do with those there. Like, I just had d20s here.
Squishy ranged spellcasters in the middle of enemies and no one initiative. This is gonna go well.
Are we
worry,
fighting
you
the
have
dragon in
Remus
all of this
Ward.
trial?
Maybe. Somebody decided to counterspell a lot of things instead of talking to the dragons, so now you're doing this.
Headless
It's gonna be a good party
was
life, guys.
They definitely didn't ask your permission, I'll tell you that much. Alright, let's see here. Oh, I need to pull up my thing. There you are. What do you get? Okay. So... Ba-ba-doo-ba-ba-doo-boo.
As far as I know, Raiken's weapon has not fully recovered. His biggest weapon.
Jebel, what's your dex plus?
Dex plus is 18. Not 8, it's 3.
3, okay.
be fair, all the people that rolled low, they probably could have rolled mulligans to try to get a higher roll.
I only have so many points to spend.
If they had the points.
I mean, I do have the points.
What's your dex plus, Cyrus?
3.
Roll me a d20.
Okay, 1 second. Would halfling luck apply to this roll?
No.
Then it's a 1.
Oh, okay. Fun. Okay, this is fun. This will be, our next session is going to be very interesting.
I hope we don't all die.
Bounds.
Well, you're welcome.
Stay tuned for the last episode of...
I think Cyrus likes getting you guys killed.
Haven't you guys picked up on that yet?
Boom.
I mean, I'm prepared to get the hell out as soon as I get hit. Just saying.
Oh,
That's why I asked if you had a short rest.
They got an
Like,
interesting spread. They like just intermingle all throughout you guys.
Yeah, all that Raiken still ends up on the bottom half after he rolled decent for once.
I mean, you still beat 2 of the things that I cannot name.
You are only bottom half by 1.
Yeah, it's still the bottom half.
Oh, this is fun.
We're gonna get decked by black, red, and blue before we have a chance.
Wait, is it us that's... I guess it's not black and white and red, because blue... Never mind.
Well, if we die, I'm sorry, but, you know, just trying to play my character.
Black and blue and red all over.
Not to mention,
It's
you all
just
agreed
black
to
and white
this.
and red all over, though.
You are in amazing positions. It's gonna go great.
I mean, before we got into this, Cyrus, technically, Derek was like, yeah, Raiken's supposed to be switched with me. But, you know, it's okay. Cyrus can take a beating.
Yeah, I was... I'm just annoyed that you guys didn't take the chance to pick up the sword before the initiative.
I was
It's still laying on the ground between him and Red.
Yeah, Tristan, you went right into the dialogue for it. I was like, should I interrupt and say I want to go for the sword now? But I didn't, so.
Also,
Well, now if you want to do it, you can do it on your turn, perhaps.
Please tell me that Yukikaze actually is not bloody.
No, I'm
I
not.
don't think so. Hold on. These are just the same states we're there from the last time we
I
used
know,
the program.
I just want to make sure that it gets taken care of so it's not
Yeah.
extra missed.
Alright.
Yeah,
There you go.
and also we have had short rests, so you can, you know, use the die. The heal die
Yeah.
thing. I forgot what it's called.
There, just help you understand the scale of this.
Oh, we got a long way to go.
I mean, not really.
I mean,
The
technically
fight
not.
is right
It's
here
right
and
there.
now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, where do you want us to go? We wanted the sword, right? The sword is right there in front of us. We don't need the rest of the city.
Alright, somebody get ready to teleport.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, I mean, I was ready to teleport, but he didn't pick up the fucking sword.
Somebody get ready to oh, well, Raiken has Dimension Door, and he is next to Yukikaze.
Well, yeah, so is Leah, and it's next
But
to
that's not
Yukikaze.
Raiken's way either.
You know, I kept whispering, pick up the fucking sword, but it didn't.
I should totally use my 7th level spell slot to banish 4 of them.
You know, it could be worth it if you didn't get counterspelled.
I also have Banishment.
You can only banish 1. Ah, but
I know.
that means 5. Anywho.
Problem solved.
I'm a little worried about the save. I think that they could probably beat the save.
Yeah, probably. Do we get any XP?
Take 800.
Yay!
October.
Alright. We'll come back next week and see how this all plays out. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.